The story kicks off with a harsh reality. Lumen is literally thrown out the door. His boss screams in a rage, calling him a useless mutt and telling him to never come back. As if getting fired wasn't enough, former co-workers pass by just to mock him. Lumen takes the insults in silence, walking alone as night falls and the stars come out. Homeless and unpaid, Lumen curls up against a cold brick wall. Just as he tries to get some sleep, a voice calls out from the darkness, interrupting his rest. It's a blue-haired boy looking visibly annoyed. Lumen panics, thinking he's being chased off the property, and frantically apologizes, promising to leave immediately. Turns out the boy is just lost and needs directions to the train station. Lumen, having nothing better to do, agrees to guide him, but they end up walking straight into a dead end. It's a trap. A shady figure blocks their exit, sneering that it's past their bedtime. The atmosphere shifts from awkward to dangerous in a split second. The thug demands payment. When Lumen pleads poverty and the blue-haired boy insults him, the mugger summons two massive wolf beasts to enforce his threats. The mugger grabs for Lumen's backpack, but the terrified boy snaps. He sinks his teeth into the thug's hand, drawing blood and triggering a violent rage. Cornered by the beasts, Lumen has no choice left. He unleashes his inner power, engulfed in a blinding blue light as he prepares to transform. The energy settles to reveal a majestic white wolf form. Chains of light shatter as Lumen prepares for a serious fight. But as the smoke clears, instead of a beast, a tiny, adorable puppy appears. The epic tension instantly deflates into confusion. Lumen panics, remembering his transformation is broken. The blue-haired boy calls him lame, but the thug suddenly screams in recognition he knows this puppy. Plot twist. The thug accuses the puppy of stealing his wallet. Lumen is confused until a memory from months ago surfaces. In the flashback, Lumen witnessed this same thug pickpocketing a lady. Despite wanting to stay out of trouble, he couldn't ignore the crime. While the thug was counting his loot, Puppy Lumen launched a surprise attack, snatching the wallet solely to return it to its owner. Back in the present, the thug is furious, accusing Lumen of keeping the cash. Lumen sassily retorts that he should get a job instead of stealing, which only enrages the guy further. The thug brutally kicks the tiny puppy around. He pauses, confused by the blue-haired boy's coldness, asking why he isn't helping his friend. The boy coldly denies knowing Lumen. But when the thug goes for the backpack, Lumen snaps again, biting down hard to protect his only possessions. Cradling the injured puppy, the boy delivers a chilling ultimatum: leave or be cursed. Realizing he's a witch, the thugs panic and scramble to escape his magic. Cody responds to the taunts with a chilling glare, unleashing a massive green energy blast that leaves the bullies trembling. The rescued puppy suddenly goes poof and transforms into a silver-haired boy, but Cody remains unfazed. Lumen tries to slip away, but freezes when Cody calls his name. How does this stranger know who he is? Panic sets in as Lumen realizes he's in a stranger's car. Aiden smiles from the driver's seat, but the vibe is unsettling. Aiden reveals he's Cody's dad and casually lists off Lumen's violent past, leaving the werewolf boy sweating bullets. The awkward tension is cut short by a screeching halt out of gas. They're forced to stop at a nearby building. Confused and wary, Cody is ushered into the market, sensing the atmosphere turning strangely tense. Just as they hide behind the shelves, a robber in a bear mask bursts in. Talk about terrible luck. Threatened by a rabbit-masked figure, Cody doesn't hesitate. He delivers a brutal flying kick, knocking the attacker cold. One down, but the bear advances with a gun. Cody tenses up, realizing the danger isn't over yet. Smoke clears. Hands raised, Cody is bewildered. Why are you shooting at me? This isn't a normal robbery. The mask comes off its Sherry. She's furious at Aiden for making her point a gun at kids for his stupid test. The grown robber is Silver. Cody reveals he staged the whole thing to test Lumen. The werewolf boy is stunned. Despite the chaos, Cody seems impressed. He officially announces, "From today on, you are my bodyguard." Morning comes. Lumen wakes up in luxury, only to be terrified by Aiden popping up in the window like a ghost. Aiden cheerfully hands over a matching suit, only to be dragged away to work by a furious Sherry. Freshly dressed in the suit, Lumen steps out and immediately bumps into Cody. Awkwardness levels spike. Silver steps in with a warning: ignore him. He gets kidnapped 3 times a month. Lumen realizes this job won't be easy. Sherry snaps, yelling at Aiden for endangering his son by pairing 2 troublemakers together. Aiden stays cool, insisting he knows what he's doing, though his quiet most of the time suggests otherwise. Lumen scrambles everywhere, climbing trees and checking rooms, desperate to find his charge. Meanwhile, Cody sits hidden in an old house, reading quietly, unaware or uncaring of the ominous black smoke swirling around him. The next day, Aiden calls in a dejected Lumen for a chat. Instead of firing him for losing Cody, Aiden chuckles and decides to start a proper interview. The background check begins. Lumen is vague, no birthday, just a name and memories of snow. When he asks why Aiden hired a kid, the dad smiles mysteriously. Lumen might look small, but he's surprisingly strong. Aiden brings up werewolves, making Lumen hastily claim he's just a Weredog. But when Aiden mentions how valuable werewolves are on the black market, Lumen freezes, gripping his shirt in hidden panic. The interview ends with more questions than answers. Lumen sits outside, sighing at the difficulty of the job, clinging to a glowing locket for comfort. A sudden explosion rocks the ground. Terrified but worried, Lumen traces the smoke to a blasted open basement door and steps into the dark. Inside the smoky basement, Lumen finds a coughing Cody. But instead of thanks, he gets a cold glare and is told to mind his own business. Cody is brewing a suspicious purple potion. Just as Lumen hopes for a conversation, Cody shoves the flask at him with a cold command, "Drink it." Desperate for trust, Lumen chugs the questionable liquid in one go. He hits the floor instantly, unconscious, leaving a stunned Cody staring at the empty flask. Cody calls his dad for help. Later, Aiden laughs, finding Lumen's stupidity impressive, while Cody gets annoyed at his father's flippant attitude. At school, things are rough for Cody. Slaps and forced missions are routine. Lumen tries to reach out, but Cody pushes him away, leaving the werewolf wondering if they'll ever be friends. A nightmare of the past, little Cody begging his father not to leave him. He wakes up alone, the morning sun doing nothing to chase away the lingering loneliness. Lumen wakes up thrilled to be alive, thinking he's passed the test. But reality hits hard. The moment they meet, they're bickering again, clashing over Lumen's persistence and Cody's stubbornness. Cody refuses to budge, convinced Lumen is just following orders. But the dark spirit haunting him loses patience, issuing a chilling ultimatum: accept the bodyguard, or else. Rattled by the spirit, Cody loses his footing and crashes down from the attic ladder. Hanging upside down amid scattered books, he groans in pain just as a knock sounds at the door. Lumen peeks in, only to be tackled by a small wolf pup. He holds the fluffy creature, eyes lighting up, completely ignoring Cody's cold demand to leave. Cody snatches the pup back, snapping that he never agreed to this. He accuses Lumen of being bribed by his dad to play nice. Hurt, Lumen quietly asks what he did wrong to deserve such hate. When Lumen sadly offers to quit, Cody hesitates. He grumbles that his dad would just hire someone else anyway, so do whatever. Taking this as a yes, Lumen beams, his sadness instantly replaced by pure joy. The white car screeches to a halt at the steps. Lumen leans out, grinning mischievously at Cody. Long time no see. Cody is about to leave with Elena, but their banter is cut short when Lumen suddenly pops up. They ditch the ant for the bus. Cody sets boundaries coldly. "I'm only taking you so Dad doesn't panic at home." Silence fills the bus. Meanwhile, Elena wears a grave expression as she delivers grim news about the future to a mystery man. Sudden danger? Lumen tackles Cody hard, just seconds before a car screeches through the spot where they were sitting. While Cody complains about the tackle, Lumen stares in horror at a strange black mist oozing from Cody's shoulder. Cody dismisses the ghost talk and drags Lumen to shop. Just their luck, the game they want is sold out everywhere. They spot the last copy. Cody snatches the game right before a green-haired rival can grab it and yells, "Run!" The rival gives chase, furious. Cody orders his bodyguard to act, and Lumen awkwardly trips the pursuer. Cody sighs in relief as his rival hits the floor. But elsewhere, shadows deepen as the true weight of Elena's news is revealed. In a dim room, orders are given. The assassin struggles, but eventually accepts the bloody mission to kill the werewolf. Cut to the steps, the green-haired guy catches up. He's not here to fight, but to demand cash for his injuries. Dad Aiden steps in with a smile. He casually hands the kid a wad of cash, making the trouble disappear with money. Trouble resolved, Elena introduces herself gently. She compliments Lumen's eyes, making the werewolf boy blush. Elena digs into his past, making Lumen uncomfortable. Cody steps in, calling her creepy to cut the conversation short. Back home, Lumen asks if the green-haired guy is a classmate. Cody instantly shuts down, refusing to answer. Outside, Aiden bids Elena a somber farewell. Beneath his casual vibe, he carries a heavy secret to change a tragic future. Back with the kids, it's game time. Cody is terrible at it, and his stubborn frustration cracks everyone up. Laughter fills the room, but Lumen freezes. He sees it clearly again, the black cat spirit clinging tightly to Cody. Lumen hides behind a pillow, peeking out, while Cody stares at a dark shadow on the desk. With Aiden gone, the tension is thick. Cody plays along with Lumen's awkward excuse, but internally, his guard is up. He can't let him get close to that thing. Watching Cody mix potions, Lumen realizes it's a witch tradition. But then he asks the wrong question. If Cody is magic, why doesn't he fight back against bullies? Cody's expression freezes, and he shuts the conversation down cold. It's none of his business. The smoky black cat suddenly materializes, scaring the living daylights out of Lumen, who tumbles off the sofa. But the spirit drifts over to Cody, purring for attention. Cody just leans back, completely ignoring the eerie presence. Cody wonders if Lumen can't actually see the spirit. Suddenly, Aiden calls for the bodyguard. Lumen leaves with teary eyes, looking back, but Cody remains glued to his book, offering nothing but cold silence. Once the door is shut, Cody actually pets the smoky cat. When Lumen returns, Cody's mood has shifted entirely. With a rare smile, he drops a bombshell. He's contacted the principal, and Lumen is allowed to come to school with him. Lumen is so excited about school that pink bubbles practically fill the room. Even finding out he can't take actual classes doesn't dampen his spirits. Watching the hype, Cody calmly drops the reality check. School starts tomorrow. It turns out this was a secret request from Aiden. Knowing his son never shares anything, the worried father asks Lumen to be his spy and report on how Cody is doing at school. Lumen agrees instantly, beaming with enthusiasm. Arriving at school, Lumen is completely awestruck by the crowd. Cody, embarrassed by the country bumpkin reaction, rolls his eyes and immediately ditches him, walking away fast to avoid being seen with the loud werewolf. Banished from the classroom, Lumen is bored out of his mind sitting on the hallway sofa. He decides to explore, and stumbles upon an empty room where a redhead boy is chilling with his phone. Busted. The redhead catches Lumen staring and casually asks if he's skipping class too. Lumen, the good boy, panics instantly, waving his hands and stammering a clumsy denial. The redhead is baffled to learn Lumen isn't even a student. Just as Lumen tries to explain, Cody's strict order flashes in his mind. Don't tell anyone you're my bodyguard. He swallows his words, burdened by the secret. Alone in the corridor, Cody gets blasted by a streak of green magic. He winces in pain as Calla steps forward, her eyes cold. She demands to know why he's still here, furious that he hasn't transferred away yet. The bullying escalates. Cody is shoved to the floor, branded a disgrace to witches. They kick him while he's down, taunting his silence. Cody lies there, numb and unresponsive, like he's given up entirely. Cody squeezes his eyes shut, trying to endure it, when a voice booms, "Stop!" Lumen bursts through, shielding him. The bullies freeze, shocked that someone dared to intervene, and glare at this audacious stranger. Lumen stands his ground, screaming at them to get lost. Cody looks up in disbelief, staring at the back of the person calling him a friend. Calla hears that word, and her expression shifts from anger to a chilling, calculated amusement. The short-haired girl mocks Cody for finding a friend. Lumen is confused but stands his ground. "Yeah, I am." She warns Lumen to stay away from the cursed boy. Lumen suddenly realizes, "Wait, it's just a cat." Silence falls over the group. Everyone panics, asking how he knows. Lumen shrugs. "Because I can see it?" The bully snaps. "Liar! Only witches can see spirits." Lumen wonders why he has this sight, only to see the spirit flee. The bully sneers, mocking the spirit for running away. Cody rushes in, apologizing, but runs right into the bullies. Seeing Cody ask what's happening, Lumen's eyes narrow with suspicion. Were they friends? Recess ends. Lumen offers to hang out, but Cody makes an excuse to leave. Lumen calls out to his retreating back. "You shouldn't skip class so much." Lumen waits in the woods until sunset, seeing no one. Suddenly, a voice calls out. He looks up excitedly, then falls silent. Cody stands there, face bruised and battered. Lumen jumps up in horror, but Cody pushes him away. "Stay away, unless you want to be bullied too." The bus roars past, leaving the two boys stranded at the empty stop. The atmosphere is heavy in the fading light. Walking home, Lumen feels anxious but tries again. If we don't tell the adults, will you really let me help? Cody refuses instantly. Lumen sighs, then turns serious, staring him down. You remember what I told you earlier, right? Cody swears him to secrecy before entering. But as soon as they're home, Aiden hugs Cody, his eyes sharpening. Did Lumen cause trouble? Lumen sticks to the lie, blaming himself. Aiden sighs, then drops a bomb. I thought he was being bullied. Lumen's eyes widen in shock. Aiden presses harder, scaring Lumen. Sherry interrupts, bringing up the incident where Lumen transformed into a wolf and terrified a passerby. Finally escaping the interrogation, Lumen knocks on Cody's door. He gets a cold rejection from inside. I'm doing homework. Don't come in. Lumen walks away dejected. On the other side of the door, Cody curls up in the darkness, burying his head in his knees, utterly alone. Worried about the bullying, Lumen chases him down, but his concern just annoys Cody. Cody coldly shuts him down, telling him to get lost before walking into his classroom nightmare. The teacher calls on him. Dead silence. Then the mocking laughter floods the room. Watching from afar, Elijah tries to rush in to help, but trips and faceplants immediately. Surprisingly, Cody helps him up. A rare moment of kindness amidst the hostility. Lumen watches like a hawk, suspicious, but Cody spots his stalker instantly. Lumen is shocked they know each other, while Cody sinks into painful memories of insults. Meanwhile, the bullies corner Elijah, demanding to know where the Weredog is hiding. Bad luck. The bully leader spots Cody. Lumen instantly jumps in to shield him. The punk recognizes Lumen. He's still holding a massive grudge for the last beatdown. Just as fights erupt, Elijah calls the bully Big Bro. Lumen's brain completely short-circuits. The brother tries to calm the raging brute, while Lumen watches the family drama, totally confused. Lumen tries to check on Cody amidst the chaos, but gets another cold get lost in return. Lumen shouts, I'm your bodyguard, but the school bell rings just in time to save the awkwardness. The crowd disperses. Elijah's friends are annoyed he didn't join in on the bullying. Cody glares at his ex-friend. Elijah feels the hate and awkwardly excuses himself. Elijah asks if he's hated. The answer stings. I don't hate you, but I don't like you either. Elijah admits he used to be friends with Cody. But silence falls when asked what went wrong. Flashback to 2 years ago. Cody rummages through a filthy trash can. Sure enough, his orange book lies amongst the waste, as if destined for the garbage. Resigned to the loss, Cody tosses the book back. Suddenly, a frantic purple-haired boy crashes into him from behind, startling him completely. It's just a lost new student. Cody points him in the right direction, only for the boy to thank him with a stinging nickname. Thanks, which kid? Back in class, the teacher demands the whereabouts of his math book, the 5th one lost in 2 months. Cody lowers his head, meeting the oppression with silence. On the bus at dusk, worrying about explaining the lost book, Cody feels a gaze. He turns to find a light-haired boy staring at him intently. They get off together, and the boy excitedly shouts, "We're neighbors." Cody finds the enthusiasm overwhelming, his face clearly saying, "Stay away." Cody waves a cold goodbye, thinking the guy is weird. Suddenly, the scene breaks the fourth wall. The author apologizes, explaining the hiatus was due to severe wrist pain. During the break, the author did nothing but stare at walls and pet the cat. Despite the boredom, they thank everyone for waiting. Now, the story continues. Back to the present, Elijah gets caught playing games in class. After a gentle reminder from the teacher, he awkwardly puts the phone away, pretending to be a model student. Elijah rushes over excitedly. Hi. Remember me? But Cody stands like an iceberg, arms crossed, completely ignoring him. The air is thick with awkwardness, so Elijah tries talking about the weather. Cody finally snaps coldly, "Do you need something? If not, stop hovering." Rebuffed, Elijah laughs it off and leaves. Looking back at Cody sitting alone on the grass, the boy's isolation is palpable and heartbreaking. While Elijah wonders if he's being annoying, Mona, a pink-haired girl, appears. Turns out they're classmates, and Elijah finally learns the lonely boy's name is Cody. Elijah casually mentions the witch kid, causing Mona to panic instantly. She clamps a hand over his mouth. "Shh. Don't call him that, she might hear you." Elijah is confused, so Mona explains about Kala, the sharp-eyed, black-haired girl. She's the school's strongest witch, and the last person you want to provoke. Mona warns him gravely. Kala hates Cody with a passion. If you get close to him, You'll be ostracized by everyone. Picking the wrong side here is dangerous. Mona, the pink-haired girl, apologizes nervously, admitting she has to stay away from Cody to avoid Kala's wrath. Cody smiles and accepts it, but he's clearly hiding his own plans. As Cody turns to leave, Elijah, the pink-haired boy, chases after him. Cody shoots him a death stare, his eyes cold with distrust due to their past. The guy is persistent, begging to be friends while nagging Cody about missing the bus. Cody keeps his back turned, looking utterly annoyed and exhausted. They walk in awkward silence until a kid in a red hoodie screams and sprints past them, realizing he forgot his backpack, momentarily breaking the tension. Elijah asks to be friends again. Cody stammers a no, but Elijah flashes a peace sign and refuses to accept it. Defeated, Cody sighs, "Do what you want." Flashbacks flood in reading together, playing games, comforting hugs. The contrast between their warm past and the cold, fractured present is heartbreaking. Cut to Aiden, Cody's dad. He catches Cody scribbling on important documents and smacks him on the head. Their interaction is chaotic, but weirdly normal. Jokes aside, Aiden gets serious. He discusses the serial disappearances of which children aged 9 to 15, putting Cody right in the center of the danger zone. Late that night, Lumen tosses and turns, unable to sleep. He's consumed with worry about Cody being bullied and whether Elijah's attempt to reconnect is genuine. His anxiety spikes as he remembers the dark cat spirit haunting Cody. Terrified, Lumen jumps out of bed. He needs answers immediately. Trying not to wake anyone, Lumen creeps into the dark hallway, tiptoeing barefoot like a burglar, terrified of making a sound. Suddenly, a hand touches his shoulder. Lumen screams in terror, only to find it's Aiden. Embarrassed, he stammers that he actually has a question for him. Lumen asks about the black cat, and Aiden's expression shifts instantly. He gently but firmly shuts down the conversation. This isn't the time or place. Cody appears and tells Lumen to go to bed. The next morning, Cody looks like a walking zombie, wandering through school with hollow, exhausted eyes. Worried sick, Lumen transforms into a puppy to sneak into school. Hiding under desks, he vows to guard Cody all day and stop any bullies. Barely an hour later, trouble finds them. Bullies corner Cody, spewing insults. Hidden as a puppy, Lumen panics, debating whether to bite them or get a teacher. He can't take it anymore. Lumen transforms back and jumps in to protect Cody. The bully just sneers, calls him a mutt, and tells him to get lost. Lumen tries to be brave by quoting a cheesy line from a comic book. Bad move. The bully rages, transforms into a massive electric beast, and lunges. Chaos erupts as Lumen flees down the hall. Watching the absurdity unfold, Cody actually bursts out laughing, while Elijah watches the spectacle with amusement. The guy in the hoodie tentatively asks for a chat, but Cody shoots him a sharp, distrustful glare that screams "Stay away." Cut to a special segment. Lumen yells "Happy Halloween" in a suit, but Cody coldly reminds him they're a week late. Cody announces a plan to expose Lumen's biggest fear right now. Cody shoves the mic in Lumen's face, demanding an answer. Lumen starts stuttering and sweating, his face turning beet red, completely unable to handle the pressure. He finally blurts it out, "Cameras." It triggers a memory of when Cody tried to snap his photo. Cody joked about keeping it in his wallet, but the lens clearly terrified Lumen. Sherry teases that Cody just wants family photos. Seeing Lumen frantically covering his face, Cody drops the act and gently promises not to take the picture if he hates it. Back in the studio snap, Cody tricks him and takes the photo anyway. When Lumen demands to know Cody's fear in return, the crafty witch deflects, saving that secret for next Halloween.